Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the world around you fade. Together, we will journey to a realm where myths come alive and mysteries whisper their secrets. This is your moment to pause, to wonder, and to escape. Callisto and Arcas, the tragic fate of the Great Bear. Deep within the untamed forest of Arcadia, where towering oaks and silver-barked poplars whispered secrets of the gods, lived Callisto, a radiant nymph whose beauty rivaled the dawn. She was a devoted follower of Artemis, the fierce and chaste goddess of the hunt. Like all those who swore allegiance to Artemis, Callisto had taken an unbreakable vow of purity, pledging to remain untouched by love or desire, dedicating herself only to the wild. Among Artemis' huntresses, Callisto was the most skilled. She could move through the woods as silently as the moon's glow and strike down prey with unerring precision. Many admired her, but none dared to love her. She was sworn to Artemis, and to break that vow meant facing the goddess's unrelenting wrath. She was happy in her devotion, content with the chase, the thrill of the hunt, and the freedom of the wild. But fate is often cruel to those who capture the attention of the gods. The king of the gods watches from Olympus. Far above, on the gleaming heights of Mount Olympus, the great Zeus, ruler of gods and men, looked down upon the earth. His gaze fell upon Callisto, and at once he was captivated by her beauty, her wild spirit, and the fire in her eyes. Zeus was known for his insatiable desire, and though Callisto had sworn her purity to Artemis, he would not be deterred. But he knew that Callisto would never willingly submit to him, nor could he force her without consequence. Artemis was fiercely protective of her maidens. And so, Zeus resorted to deception, as he had many times before. Zeus's deception and Callisto's betrayal. One day, as the sun set behind the Arcadian hills, Callisto wandered away from the other huntresses, seeking rest beneath the shade of an ancient oak. The forest was still, save for the rustling of leaves and the distant call of an owl. Then, a familiar presence approached, Artemis herself, or so it seemed. Dressed in her silver hunting garb, bow in hand, the goddess smiled at Callisto, her expression warm and welcoming. "You have done well today, my dear Callisto," she said, her voice as soft as a summer breeze. Callisto, trusting and devoted, rushed forward, eager to receive her goddess's blessing. But as she did, Artemis' form shimmered and shifted, and in her place stood Zeus, his piercing eyes filled with desire. Before Callisto could cry out, he seized her in his powerful arms, and no matter how she struggled, she could not break free from the grip of a god. The trees bore silent, witness to the cruelty of fate. When Zeus finally released her, he disappeared into the heavens, leaving Callisto alone and trembling. Violated, deceived, and broken, she sank to the ground, sobbing beneath the very trees that had once been her refuge. Artemis' wrath and the cost of purity. Callisto tried to hide what had happened, But fate is not so kind. As the weeks passed, her body betrayed her. The swell of her belly revealed the terrible truth. When Artemis saw, her anger was swift and malicious. Though Callisto had been tricked, the goddess saw only the breaking of an oath. To Artemis, the vow was sacred. No excuses, no exceptions. You have dishonored me, Callisto. You have no place among us. Her words were colder than the winter wind. Callisto fell to her knees, pleading, but Artemis was unmoved. Leave. You are no longer my sister in the hunt. And so, banished and alone, Callisto wandered the wilderness. Hera's wrath and the cruel transformation. But her suffering was not over yet. Far above, on her golden throne, Hera, queen of the gods, watched with growing fury. She had long endured Zeus's infidelities, but she could not strike her husband without consequence. And so, as she had done many times before, she turned her wrath upon the innocent. Callisto, once a nymph of grace and beauty, was cursed by Hera's divine power. You will never tempt another again, the goddess spat. Her body, twisted and contorted, her hands becoming clawed paws, her skin sprouting thick fur. Her voice, once melodic, became a growl. Callisto's vision blurred as her world shifted. The nymph was no more. She was now a great bear, condemned to wander the wilds, feared and hunted by men. The birth and journey of Arcas. Meanwhile, Callisto's son, Arcas, was taken in by shepherds and raised among mortals. Unaware of his divine lineage, he grew into a strong and fearless hunter, blessed with the instincts that set him apart from other men. He often ventured deep into the forest, feeling an unexplainable pull toward the wild places of the world. Little did he know, the great bear that sometimes watched him from the shadows was not a beast, but his mother, the ever cursed to roam the earth alone. A fateful encounter. One day, Arcas found himself in the heart of a forest, spear in hand. The trees whispered in the wind, and the undergrowth rustled with unseen movement. Then he saw her, a massive bear, its dark eyes filled with something strangely human. Arcas, seeing only a wild beast, raised his spear. Callisto, recognizing her son, took a step forward. She tried to call his name, but only a deep growl escaped her throat. She raised her paw as if to reach for him. Arcas, unaware, prepared to strike. Zeus's final act of mercy. From Olympus, Zeus watched in horror. He had allowed Callisto to suffer too long. Before Arcas could deliver the fatal blow, a divine wind swept through the forest, lifting both mother and son towards the sky. The mortal world fell away as they ascended, their forms shifting, becoming stars. The celestial curse. Yet, even in this, Hera would not allow peace. Furious that Zeus had placed them among the stars, she cursed them once more. Let them never rest, she commanded the god Oceanus. Let them wander the sky forever, never dipping below the horizon, never finding peace in the sea's embrace. And so, to this day, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor remain in the sky, forever circling the heavens, never setting beneath the horizon. A mother's love in the stars. Though Callisto and Arcas were victims of divine cruelty, they were also bound by eternal love. Every night, those who look to the heavens can see them, the great bear and the little bear, forever together, forever watching over each other. Even when fate is cruel, even when the gods are merciless, a mother's love endures. And so, Callisto and Arcas remain, not as forgotten mortals, but as beacons in the sky, shining for all eternity. Lessons from Callisto and Arcas. The story of Callisto and Arcas reminds us that fate is not always kind, and those with power do not always act with fairness. Callisto was punished for something beyond her control, yet she endured, proving that even in the face of suffering, there is strength in perseverance. Above all, their tale speaks of a love that could not be broken. A mother's love knows no boundaries, not time, not form, not even the will of the gods. Though Callisto could no longer hold her son in her arms, she would always watch over him, her light guiding him through the night. And so, even in the darkest of times, there is always a hope. Callisto's fate was cruel, but in the end, she was not forgotten. She became something greater than a mere mortal, a constellation, a guiding light, a story that would be told for generations. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Though we may face hardships, though life may take unexpected turns, our love, our actions, and our stories will outlive all of us. And just like Callisto, we too may find ourselves transformed into something eternal. Look up at the night sky, and there she is, a mother and her son, together forever, a reminder that love endures beyond all things. As the whispers of myth fade into the stillness, carry their magic with you into the world. Until we meet again, may your spirit wander, and may your days be filled with wonder. Thank you for listening to If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Whispering Myths. That way you won't miss out on any of the magical tales that I share. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again, may the whispers of myths guide your dreams.